Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to Club América versus Toluca FC 2025 Liga MX Campeón de Campeones. The winner faces the LA Galaxy sometime late September, early October. Sometime in late September, early October, they'll play the LA Galaxy at the same stadium they're playing today, of course. The winner plays the Galaxy. Probably will beat them too. And very likely will beat them too. With that being said, Club América contra Toluca FC, la Liga MX Campeón de Campeones. Domingo futbolero ganador. Avanzar de la Campeones Cup contra LA Galaxy. En Carson, California. Septiembre o October. Hold on. Interesting. So here we are. Septiembre. I know that. October. Okay. There we go. All right. Phil's Spanish is pretty good. I mean, mine's okay. All things considered. Either way. I mean, I'm not Phil Neville, but either way. With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. We might have started this a little bit early. We will be clear about that, but they don't like to really be open about the actual kickoff time of this game. It might be 8:15. It might be 8:30. I'm not sure. Won't be as long of a wait as the Toronto game last night, though. At least we sort of expected this one, though. With that being said, starting 11s. Luis Malagon in goal for America. The back four of Israel Reyes, Eric Sanchez. Nah, it's Igor Lichnowsky, but Fatmov's wrong. Christian Borja, Sebastian Cáceres. The midfield three of Isaias Violante, Alvaro Fidalgo, Eric Sanchez, and the front three of Rodrigo Aguirre, Brian Rodriguez, and Alejandro Zendejas up top. For Toluca, in goal, we have Luis Garcia. The back four, Diego Barbosa. We have Luan. We have Federico Pereira. We have Jesus Gallardo. The midfield two, Marcel Ruiz and Franco Romero. The attacking midfielders, Bruno Mendes. Have Jesus Angulo, Alexi Vega, and up top, Paulinho. For Toluca, the winner plays the Galaxy. Late September, early October, somewhere in there. For the Campeones Cup. Probably late September. That's what it's normally been, but could be October, early October. How we doing, Dylan? How we doing? Around the same time, we have the U.S. Open Cup Final and the Canadian Championship Final. We'll have the Campeones Cup Final. And if I don't do it this year, it is what it is. I mean, it's the Galaxy versus one of these two teams. What do you think's going to happen? Do we really need to do it? I think we kind of get away without doing the Campeones Cup this year, if that's how the schedule runs. I'm not saying I want to not do it. It's the fact the schedule might screw it up. So we'll see. We'll see. Good move. That sounds like a good move if it happens. This is a funny question. I just saw this. I have time. So, how did the Braves go from winning a World Series in 21 and having their entire core locked up for the next decade for super cheap to a non-playoff team? It's the same reason that the Toronto Blue Jays are somehow the second best team in the American League and the top 4 team and a top 4 team in the MLB. Baseball's a weird sport. If you're shit the year before, you still might be good the next year. Everything, and honestly, the Braves are just like last year's Blue Jays, weirdly enough. I said this during the All-Star game. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, will go wrong, will keep going wrong. Just like the Blue Jays last year. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Everything that could go right has gone right this year for the Blue Jays. They traded in all their luck for an amazing run this year, but you know what? I'm fine with that. They traded all their luck for last year for this year, so they had double luck. Smart. Smart. Hey, if it means the Blue Jays win the World Series, you know, I don't mind them having a shit year last year. They saved it all for this year, so that's good. Hell, their biggest free agent signing ain't doing shit. Like I'm happy to see Manoah and Varsho rehabbing at Dunedin, and I hope they do play at some point for the major league team this year. I'll tell you, I really don't care about Santander. Like I would not mind if he just sat the rest of the season. If he didn't play again, I'm totally fine with that. At least this year. The Blue Jays are doing amazing without him. So, yes, Alex. What's your prediction? Toluca 2-1 is my prediction. Yep. 2-0 Toluca. I still say 2-1. Don't the Jays actually have a better record than the Dodgers at this point? Detroit has a 1-0 lead on Texas. Damn it. That was always going to be a question, but the Tigers might be the first team to get to 60 wins this year. That was always going to be tough, even though the Blue Jays were 2 behind them. Oh, yeah, the Blue Jays do have a better record than the Dodgers. That's awesome. Because the front office is a joke. Why is Toronto FC so bad? Well, I'll tell you. Their manager sucks. Robin Fraser has no idea what he's doing. MLSE have no idea what they're doing. Keith Pelly is a bean counter who is just there to have all the power instead of a president for each team. Rogers doesn't know what they're doing. None of them have the answers to save Toronto. There's only one person who has the answer key, and well, do I need to say the line? Or do I need to say the line, or can you say it yourself? I don't know. They have no idea what they're doing. Any of them. The players might have the best idea of what they're doing, and even then, sometimes they look feckless. They had an amazing game against San Diego. They looked feckless last night. So do with that what you will. The players probably had the best idea of what they're doing, and even then. So, nobody has the answers. That's the problem. They're all flying blind. Yes? Yeah. At least y'all got the draw. That's the least of our damn worries. I mean, yeah, Sean Johnson's pretty much the reason we lost last night, but that's the least of our worries. I mean, Sean Johnson's been the least of our problems. He's had a really good season. You just wouldn't know because it doesn't really matter that he's had a good season, all things considered. Just look at his numbers. I would definitely say it hasn't really been his fault, any of this. Hell, I think some of our wins have happened because he's had a good season. Just imagine if he was shit as the rest of the team. I don't think we'd have a point right now. So, no, I think goalkeeper is the least of our problems. The least of our problems. Yeah, no, that's our luck, right? He was shit while he was here. We let him go to our rival. He's on fire, and the striker we get to replace him can't score just as much as he did. Like, Ulla Brynhildsen has not, he's barely scored. DeAndre Kerr has been hurt for most of the year. But the fact that DeAndre Kerr, once again, looks better than the guy that we bring in who's been playing in Europe on the small amount of minutes that DeAndre has played is just another indictment that we do not know what the shit we're doing. Like, Ulla Brynhildsen just ain't that guy. And all we have is DeAndre or Ulla. That's it. But the guy we let go, who is just as bad at scoring for us as Brynhildsen is, he goes to our rival just to throw more salt in the wound, and now he's on fire. Now I wish we didn't let him go. Maybe we shouldn't have let him go. I don't know. Maybe letting him go made him go on fire. Who knows? Maybe that is the case. I don't know. Yeah, they're lower than us, but at least Owusu's scoring. If he was playing like this for us, we'd be probably 3 positions higher. So, I mean, he has a good point. Yeah, he was terrible. He was terrible against Rotloss. Yeah, he was. So, he has a point. The guy that we got rid of him for is scoring nothing. Maybe 1 goal? Is it? I have no clue. We got lucky. Somehow San Diego did not show their offensive prowess that people have been screaming about for months against us. We held them to 0 goals. Kept them out wide was the line. Hell, it kind of looked like that, but let's be real. I think that was just Robin Fraser finding a bullshit answer to be like, I gotta make people think I know what I'm doing. So, yeah, we kept them out wide. And that's why they didn't score. Yeah, we've kept teams out wide before, and they've still scored 4 on our ass. So, no, it ain't that. Sorry. Was a part of it? Maybe. I think we got lucky. See, Robin, that's the problem with you. We got lucky. Just admit it. We got lucky. Just admit it. They worked their asses off. San Diego somehow didn't score, and we got lucky. That's pretty much the story. I can't even tell you. What would be your Chelsea lineup for next season? In goal, I want Donnarumma, but I'll be realistic and say we're keeping Robert Sanchez. Back four, Malo Gusto, Levi Colwill, Trevor Chalobah, Reece James. Midfield three, Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer. Front three, Neto, João Pedro, and Jamie Bino Gittins. Yes. That's my starting 11. From what we have already, and I guess close signings, but you know, I don't think we're getting Donnarumma, so. Oh, right. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah, Cucurella then. Fine. My bad. Why did I forget about him? Well, that'll save it. That'll clear it up itself. Actually, yeah. To start the game, Cucurella, Reece James, but that'll take care of itself. Malo will be playing right back 3 games into the season. That'll take care of itself. That'll take care of itself. I don't want Reece James in the midfield. I don't. You're right. Hey, Cucurella is still better than Malo Gusto. What was I thinking? You know, that was a howler by me. I'll legit say that, actually. That was my bad. That was the dumbest shit I ever said. Cucurella is still better than Malo Gusto. And Pochettino has nothing to do with these guys, so what is my... Either way. Yeah. Malo Gusto will be playing right back 3 games in anyway. Knowing Reece James anyway, so who cares? How we doing? No problem. We got our guy. We got our guy. We got our guy, is all I'm saying. I think Pep will stick to a formation next season. That's what Pep's known for. He has his formation, he'll stick to it. Unless things go off the rails completely. I don't think that'll happen. I'm a Cruz Azul fan. Well, sucks they're not playing in this game. Oh, they have a new Campeón of Liga MX patch. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. That's bigger than it used to be. They went full shield. Okay, that's better than it used to be. All right. Risklander is not new here. Hold on, let me make sure. Nah, it is actually Risklander. Yeah, no, he's not new here. Toluca wearing their red with the gold outlines. You know what's funny? Toluca really, they went ballsy with the gold accents. Like, they didn't know they'd be champions when they designed that jersey, but it all worked out. Aura farming, I love it. Toluca went ballsy with the gold accents, like designed the jersey like, we might win this time. And they wear it as champions. Ballsy, I love it. Aura farming. Like, wearing gold accents without winning anything is like crazy. Alexi Vega will score. I think you're right. And I think it's their regular home jersey. It's not like it's their regular home jersey this year. So it's not like they're wearing this just to wear this. It was a one-time thing. No, this is their actual home jersey. They gambled. Like, they gambled and said, okay, yeah, we want gold on our jersey next year. What if you don't win? well, do with that what you will. I like it. I like the Toluca jersey with the gold accents. I probably should buy it. I love it. Aura farming. I think in my predictions for that, like next week or something. Wait, or is it the Monday after next? Either way, you could wait. Wait for the predictions. They'll probably be good, considering Toronto has nothing to do with that competition. América, starting 11. Malagon, Borja Cáceres, Lichnowsky, Reyes, Fidalgo, Sanchez, Rodriguez, Endeas, Violante, Aguirre. The winner of this game plays the Galaxy sometime in late September for the Campeones Cup. Same stadium. It is a cool format, but I feel like there's really no room for error. And besides, like, you kind of have to, but like all the MLS teams, like every MLS team's playing 3 Mexican teams. Every Mexican team's playing 3 MLS teams. But you're ranking the teams by the league they're playing in. So it doesn't seem like there's much room for error, but it seems like there's room for error. Center ref Victor Cáceres. It seems crazy. Like, if you're going to play every game against a team from the opposite league, I guess the fair part is every game for MLS is against a Mexican team, so every MLS team has played 3 Mexican teams. But it depends on who you get. It depends on who you're set up against. But the story is you're supposed to have a first tier, second tier, third tier. Like, all 18 teams got split into 3 tiers. Toluca starting 11. Garcia, Gallardo, Pereira, Luan, Mendez, Barbosa, Vega, Ruiz, Romero, Angulo, Polino. So that's the line. But I'd say that Mexico's 3 tiers are tighter than MLS's 3 tiers. And then you have the teams that it should be 1 to 18. I mean, is it compelling? Maybe. And also, you're going to at least have 4 teams or 4 games as an MLS team against a Mexican team. Because if you make the quarterfinals, you're playing a Mexican team. The only time it may start to be MLS versus MLS is the semifinals or final/third place. There's still a third place game. And it's no stop of the league, or at least no stop of MLS. So they're midweek games. But I would say the bottom tier of MLS teams are the bottom tier. I would say the third tier of Liga MX's 18 teams is close to the second tier. It's a lot tighter. I mean, look at the freaking table during the Apertura Clausura. Look how tight that thing is. So maybe playing all the games in MLS stadiums or North America, or I should say the USA and Canada, probably is the equalizer there. The gold looks fresh. I wanted to see every club in Leagues Cup. You know what? I'm kind of glad about the new format. Toronto doesn't deserve to be there. We would get embarrassed. See, no, I think part of Mexico, I think that was a Mexico push change. I think they said basically they don't want to stay in the tournament if there's a month-long stoppage, and that if there's basically double the MLS clubs to the Mexican clubs. I think the reason why it's 18 versus 18, equal numbers, is because, and also the fact it's all MLS versus Liga MX up until the semifinals, very likely, or possibly, is guaranteed MLS versus Liga MX up until the semifinals, is because they wanted it to be fair for them, fairer for them. Now, of course, I have to still play every game in the USA or Canada, not in Mexico, which that's still unfair, but they sort of tried to even the playing field a little bit because If you're going in with a league that has less teams, you're going to basically be going in with already at a disadvantage. So I understand it. But Toronto didn't deserve to go to the Leagues Cup anyway. And even if they made it because of last year's record, they still would get embarrassed. So I'm okay with it. And we're off 30 seconds in. Free kick for América, 0-0, 0-0. Are you new here? Have you watched a football match before with actual passionate fans? Hell, just watch when Toronto was good. They pulled that shit all the time. LAFC, shot, goal, goal, goal! América! Alejandro Zendejas, 1-0. Instantly. 1-0. What a shot. Alejandro Zendejas. 1-0. 1-0. Zendejas. We don't deserve to qualify. You know what the only chance for Toronto to qualify for Champions Cup is? Call the damn Pirate. That's it. What a shot. Cross it over. Top of the box. Oh, a deflection, but top bins for Zendejas. Yeah, América's going to win this game. Zendejas is América's best player. Yeah, you're damn right. 2 minutes in. One 0 1-0, Zendejas. Toluca's behind the 8 ball. I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't. I'm surprised also that they've kind of been trashed for their first 2 matches. Hold on. They played 2, right? They played 2 league matches, right? Yeah, drawn. Oh, they beat Jolos. Okay, no, they're fine. They're fine. Wow, they beat Jolos. They're 3rd in the league. They're fine. They're fine. No chance for the keeper. But I agree with that. Well, Montreal wasn't a playoff team, but I think there were some teams that chose to play Champions Cup and U.S. Open Cup over Leagues Cup or something like that. Something like that. I'm not sure. Like, speaking of, actually, let's go back into that. Hold on. Let me look at the Leagues Cup on the MLS side. Leagues Cup. There we go. All right. MLS. Atlanta was a playoff. Oh, yeah, they beat Miami. Yeah, playoff team. Oh, wait. No, they were. No, Montreal was in the wild card. I forgot. They lost in the wild card game, though. They lost to Atlanta. So, yes, playoff team. Charlotte, they were not, though. They were not a playoff team. They were not a playoff team. Oh, they were actually. Oh, they played Orlando. Oh. What? It's Orlando, Charlotte. That's why I forgot. Okay, no, playoff team. Colorado playoff team. Columbus playoff team. Cincinnati. I would not forget them choking. Cincinnati playoff team. Houston playoff team. Miami playoff team. Galaxy champions. LAFC playoff team. Minnesota playoff team. And CFC playoff team. Red Bulls playoff team. Orlando playoff team. Timbers lost the wild card, but playoff team. Salt Lake, playoff team. San Diego, new team. Oh, Vancouver's the one. Oh, because they couldn't leave the can champ. That's why. Vancouver was a playoff team that didn't make it. I got it now. How we doing, Henry? They do. During the league season. They do. During the league season. Be good enough, you'll make it. AKA also the fact all the Canadian teams played the can champ. That's why Vancouver's not in the Leagues Cup. Good for San Diego, though. But Vancouver, Canada Soccer won't let their teams leave the can champ for the Leagues Cup. Open Cup's different. Miami played their twos during the Open Cup. Portland did. I think most of these teams did. Vancouver could not because Canada Soccer has a lot more respect for their tournament. Also the fact that, well, it's still the best chance for a Canadian team to make the Champions Cup. But some teams love to piss it away, don't they? And guess where we are now? We know there won't be any CONCACAF unless... Say the line. Do I even have to say the line at this point? You know where I'm going with this. Say the line. So San Diego replaces Vancouver. There you go. Lol. Seven minutes in. 1-0 America. They've been the better team so far. It's like they heard all the shit people were talking. Like, oh, they're getting old. They're getting slow. They're not the same after the Toluca loss in the final and the LAFC loss. And also the draw against Tijuana. No, I mean, Juarez. They beat Xolos. My bad. Juarez. They beat Xolos. There was nobody really cared about that result, though. People were still talking shit. If América won back-to-back, who would play them the Campeón de Campeones? It would have been the last team to win the Campeón de Campeones. Wait. Oh, Tigres did. Wait, no. Oh, no, they got into Leagues Cup because they were the bicampeón. So if they went tetracampeón, they would have played Tigres again. Because Tigres won the Supercopa de la Liga MX the last time it was the Supercopa de la Liga MX. So it would be Tigres again, just like last year. Except that doesn't matter about the Campeones Cup. It still would have been America. Just like it was America last year, even though Tigres beat them. Yeah. They did, right? They did, right? Who do you have winning this cup? America or Toluca? I had Toluca winning 2-1, but it's 1-0. They could still win. So far, it doesn't look like it, but they could still win. Brian Rodriguez to take the free kick. Lucky star for America. They've been the better team. How's that lucky? How's that lucky? It's still Club América. Free kick over the bar. Like, it's still the team who's won 3 out of the last 4 leagues. How is this start lucky? It's not like how Toronto dominated San Diego for 45 minutes on Wednesday night. That's a lucky start. Also a lucky result. But that 45 minutes, that first half, was a very lucky start. You know? It's not like... It depends on who you are. Like, if you start hot, start as the better team during a game when you're supposed to, or you have a history behind you of winning 3 out of 4 leagues, how is it a lucky start? Now, if you're Toronto FC, who none of them know what the hell they're doing, and they don't know the answers, but they have that really good first half against San Diego, that's a lucky start. I mean, I'm glad they got that result, but that's a lucky start. That's a lucky start. There's a difference here. Hell, even if Toluca had the start America did in this game and the shoe was on the other foot, that's still not a lucky start. It's the 2 best teams in Mexico playing each other for the right to play the LA Galaxy and kill the LA Galaxy in September. Unless Ricky Puig is back, then maybe they won't. But the only thing that might save the Galaxy's ass is if Ricky Puig is back for the Campeones Cup. That's probably the only way. Not that goal for Toluca. Does Outlaws remind you of Al-Ali? No, they haven't. No, they don't. Al-Ali is heels. Playing forward. Here comes Toluca. Spins around. Oh my, what a spin. Blocked away. Shot. Goal! 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 De Toluca! Uno! Out of nowhere, Romero says, I'm going to take a shot. Franco Romero. Ball bounces back to him, and he just puts it in low and past Malagon. Alex is going to start talking shit about Malagon, isn't he? That was actually bad, though. I won't even lie. That was bad. That should not have happened. That was bad. Horrible defensive mistake. Romero takes the shot. Malagon really should have had that. You could argue for goalie interference. That the goalie was screened, but hey, guess what? Go to the net. Go to the net. You could argue that the goalie was screened, but go to the net. That's the Franco Romero, 12th minute, 1-1. Uno. See if they keep it. But there's the equalizer, and yeah, they've already kicked off. So, yeah, Franco Romero. America gave the ball away, and 10 minutes later, the game is tied. 12th minute, 1-1. Uno. I'll take it. Tie game just like that. Yeah. I'd say Newell's or Atlanta reminds me more of Atlas than Al-Ali, to be real. But, yeah. Probably more Newell's. Is it me or is that on Malagon? That was on Malagon. That was bad. I'll agree. That was bad. That was bad. No, I'll agree. That was on Malagon. I wouldn't have blamed him, but Drogba would have been suspended for like 6 months if he punched that ref, so I think he was smart there. I think he was smart not to and just say it's an effing disgrace. I think he was smart. But no, Alex, you actually have a point. That was on Malagon. That was on him for sure. He should have had that. I don't care if he was screened or not. He should have had that. He should have had that. Should have had that. Yes. Cementos Cruz Azul. It's on the front of their jerseys. Always has been. Dude, I'd be blind not to know that. I think everybody knows that. Like, Cementos, I think that was obviously... Like, I don't think I needed to even know Spanish to know, oh, Cementos is cement. Wow. I think that's pretty damn easy. I think even... Yeah. Actually, I think I knew that a long time ago. Yeah, I think, hell, when I first learned Spanish before I went to Playa del Carmen when I was 5, I saw a Cruz Azul game. They had the Cementos Cruz Azul logo on their jerseys like they always did. I'm like, oh, cement. Yes. So, hell, I knew they were a cement company back when I was just a little kid. Didn't take me much. I think everybody, or at least founded, but still on their jerseys, so. No, they don't. One has the eagle, one has the letter A. One has half black, half red logo. One has a red shield. They're not similar. They're not similar. I know I have glasses, but normally I've seen the logos while wearing glasses. I think, no, they don't look similar. It's not like I look at those logos with my glasses off where I'm damn near Stevie Wonder. Come on now. Was the shot that bad, though? I'm not saying the shot was bad. I'm saying Malagon should have had it. Even if he was screened, he should have had it. What's your predictions for the starting lineup of the MLS All-Star team? Give me a second. (2025) MLS All-Star Game squads. Oh. Nope. Guess not. Okay. Playing forward. Starting goalkeeper for the MLS, I'm going to say Yohei Takaoka. I think it should be Yohei Takaoka, but God knows there's I don't know how Brad Stuber made it. I don't know at all. We're good? Am I good? Yes. We're good, okay. So back to my point. MLS All-Star roster, I think Yohei Takaoka should start, but I'm not the one coaching the game. Oh, wait. Is the game in Austin? Oh, okay. That's how Brad Stuber made it. Okay, yeah, the game's in Austin. I got it. Okay. No, Takaoka should start. Dane St. Clair and then Stuber. Takaoka's better than Dane St. Clair. Back four. Jordi Alba. Center defense. Tristan Blackman and Miles Robinson. And then Alex Freeman, the back four. The midfielders, Sebastian Berhalter, Diego Luna, and Evander. The front three, I will go with... Huh? Where's... As of June 24th. Where's DaCosta? It's July. Where's DaCosta? Oh. Well, they said he's missing the All-Star game due to injury. Turns out he's out because of injury. At least by the MLS website. So Yeah, there you go. He's off the roster. So I guess they used the injury just to pull him. So there you go. Either way, strikers, the front three. I'm going to go with up top. I'm going to put actually Denny Bouanga. Ty Baribo is the striker. Lionel Messi on the other wing. Boom. There you go. 21st minute. Does that mean I got to take the Miami jersey instead of the Portland jersey? Shit. They always have the host coach host the All-Star game. Whatever stadium's hosting the All-Star game, that's the coach of that team hosts the All-Star game. So Estevez is coaching the All-Star game because it's in Austin. He coaches Austin. That's the same reason that Wayne Rooney coached the All-Star game 2 years ago. It got demolished by Arsenal. He had no business coaching an All-Star game for the MLS, but he did because it was in D.C. D.C., he was coaching D.C. at the time. Just like, didn't Adrian Heath coach the All-Star game when it was in Minnesota? Oh, wait, no. It's about, wait, no. Wait. No, it's about to be in Minnesota next year, so it's going to be Eric Ramsey unless he gets sacked, yeah. Who was coaching Orlando at the time in 2019? It wasn't Adrian Heath, no. Kreis? Normally, basically the team who hosts, the host coach hosts or coaches the game. DaCosta got replaced by Kai Wagner. Thoughts on Seattle Sounders? I hate them. I don't like Seattle. Because Chelsea got screwed. That's what I hate that referee. Ah. Oh, there we go. Liga MX's all-star roster. Perfect. Oh, there it is. All right. In goal to start the all-star game for Mexico, Liga MX, I have Malagon. The back four. Gallardo, Ramos, Dita, and Rotondi. Four midfielders, or the three midfielders, I'm going to go with Elias Montiel, Gilberto Mora, and Marcel Ruiz. Forwards, the three forwards, I will go with Rodriguez, Vega, Paulinho. If I was the coach. You think PSG are going to destroy Tottenham? Yes. There's no way Tottenham pulls what Chelsea pulled. There's no way. 24th minute, 1-1, 1-1. Yeah, everybody gets subbed out during the All-Star game. Everybody plays. He's not playing the full 90. He'll play 30 to 45 minutes. That's how it goes for everybody. Have you not watched an MLS All-Star game before? Everybody's playing 30 to 45 minutes, depending. Everybody. Because the game has changed. The generations have changed. Hell, I remember Beckham, Zidane, and Ronaldinho. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the tail end of their careers. They played into the 2010s. Hey, Ronaldinho played to like 2014. Do we all remember the fact he played for Querétaro? Dude, they didn't retire that long ago. Especially Ronaldinho. That was a decade. Dude, I was in middle school by then. Beckham retired when I was in middle school. I was in 6th grade. I was in grade 6 when Beckham retired. Zidane, he retired a lot quicker. I was just in elementary school when Zidane retired, but Ronaldinho and Beckham played to the early 2010s. But yeah, we're getting old. Like when Ronaldinho retired, I was just starting grade 8. Wait. At least after he was done playing with Querétaro. I was just... When Beckham retired, I was just finishing grade 6. Yeah, so... Or was I about... Either way, I wasn't that old. I wasn't that young when they retired. Well, I mean, I don't really like that. I just want my goalies to make a save. Make the save, then do everything else. Make the save first, do everything else. That's just my opinion. Which player did you wish didn't retire? Sebajovinko. Like, I wish he came back to Toronto and at least played half a season there before he retired. Like, he did not retire the way we wanted him to, or the way he should have, for that matter. 1-1, so yeah, Javinko. I think he could have had a better retirement. I think he's probably sad that he couldn't retire as a Toronto player. Actually, as a Toronto player. Like, have a last run. 27th minute. But he should play at least 30. It depends on when they do their first subs. It's 30 to 45, depending. I would think Messi plays 45 minutes. I would think so. But I would think he plays 45 because he was voted the captain and also because he's Messi. But also because he's Messi, he might only play 30. But he's only playing the first half at the very most. He's only playing to halftime at the very most. So, possibly could just be 30 minutes. I'm not too sure. I remember last year, All-Star Game, Liga MX spanked MLS 4-1. Yep. So you should know how this works. Players at least play for 30 minutes. Everybody plays. Everybody that's healthy and on the roster for both leagues play. And whoever's still standing at the end of the game, if there's a penalty shootout, will take the penalties. And yes, it's straight to penalties. Vamos Toronto. I mean, some do. Like, Toronto's such a melting pot of a city. You have the Italian diaspora, you have the Jamaican diaspora, you have El Salvadorans. There's a lot of Salvadoran diaspora in Toronto, believe it or not. The players, the fans who have more of a Spanish diaspora, Spanish heritage will say Vamos. The Italian heritage fans will say Forza. I prefer Forza, I prefer Forza, personally. But, do that what you will. It depends on where your heritage comes from, I would say. With the way the city of Toronto is. Of what you say. So. It depends. So, I mean, yeah, people with Spanish heritage, a Spanish heritage or a Hispanic heritage would say Vamos. No. Yeah. Makes me feel like TKO is about to buy TNA, which has pretty much been obvious for the get-go, but okay, 30th minute, 1-1. Game's evened out since the goals have scored. First 15 minutes were high octane ever since, really. each team really doesn't want to make a mistake. I think this game goes straight to penalties as well, but don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. Probably Miami, because that's the smart play. Hate watching Montreal, but they're only going to play 3 games. So, Miami's probably going to play 4 or 5 games, in my opinion. They'll probably be good enough to get out of the group stage and play 4 or 5 games. So, probably Miami. Portland, I'll definitely try to watch as much as I can. Cruz Azul, Pachuca. Well, I don't know if we'll see. I haven't completely done the Leagues Cup schedule yet. I've got the first couple of days down, but I really need to fill out the rest of my schedule for the year. I really do. But, probably Miami. And Montreal, I'll definitely watch every game they play. The 3 games that they do play. No, it's quarterfinals. Top 4 per league. So out of the 18 teams, only 4 per league will advance to the quarterfinals. So quarterfinal, semifinal, third place, final. If you make the final 4, you have a chance to go to the Champions Cup, just like it used to be. But that feels very harsh. I won't lie. Probably because they didn't want to stop it for a month, though. Round of 16 probably only would have been possible if they stopped it for a month. But, they wanted to get the tournament done within a month, but they didn't want to stop the leagues for a month. So, I get what you're saying, but no, quarterfinals. I feel like 4 teams out of 18 is very harsh, though. I feel like that's very harsh. Goal differential is really going to matter, for sure. 4 teams per league out of 18 is harsh. That's really harsh. That means what? 20 teams are eliminated before the knockout stage? Wait, no. 18 plus 18 is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. 36 divided by minus 8 is 20, 36, 30, 28 teams. Holy shit. That's harsh. Yes, because it gets me views. Vegas needs a team, they'll probably get one. Lol. Holy shit, that's harsh. Oh, Querétaro has a 75th anniversary logo. Well, good to know if I do any of their games. 4 teams per league. That's crazy. That's harsh. Goal differential is going to matter for sure. .34th minute. Yes. Again, let me check the schedule. But yes. Of course I'm going to watch the Central American Cup and Caribbean Cup. Don't worry. Is Triple H on your Mount Rushmore wrestling? No. No. John Cena? Rock? I know it starts next month. In 1 week, actually. Like the week after next, the Central American Cup starts. I know. We'll see how much I can do with the way they're doing the Leagues Cup. But, yeah, I know, Police FC, but that's a Caribbean Cup. That starts September, I think, or late August. Either way. I think the Monday after next, header. We'll see. definitely probably have to spend some time building up the schedule for the rest of the year. Shot for América. Good block. Clear the damn ball. Free kick the other way. If not, if I totally don't get it done today, definitely have to do that tomorrow. Whatever time I have to tomorrow. Well, Tuesday too. That could work. That could work. Either way. You'll figure things out. Excuse me. Things will. When the skills challenge starts, things will click. Things will click. Things will click. Playing forward. Here comes. Oh, clear away. I will be live for both the skills challenge and all-star game. Certainly will. Both. Just so you know. Playing forward. Shot. Blocked away. Legit goal saving. They're doing that on both ends. Hey, maybe Police FC will do good enough at the Caribbean Cup so they can make the Champions Cup to play Miami. Sadly, it's a Trinidadian club. I can't make the "We are the police of Haiti." We can't make that joke because they're a Trinidadian club. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you. But who knows? Maybe they'll be good enough to make the Champions Cup and play Miami. Who knows? Damn, Leverkusen spent 101 million euros. Jeez. They're still a favorite. They'll be a favorite till Messi retires. Whether they do or not, that's the question. Free kick, Borja. Shot blocked away. It's a lot of blocks. It's like a basketball game. Vega. Brazil, they love taking guest spots. I think Brazil loves exporting their football, especially back then. Brazil knew they were popular, and they still are for their name. They love to be invited to things, and they love to share in culture. Argentina, I feel like, is a little bit highfalutin. If it ain't CONMEBOL or the World Cup, they don't want to be there. Like, you could kind of tell. Like, Argentina showed a lot of disrespect to Canada when they played Canada at the Copa last year. Which, again, it's Canada, so, well, I can understand that for that part. But I think because they were playing a CONCACAF team, and a CONCACAF team got the opening game of the Copa América. Remember when Argentina slow walked their return to the pitch at halftime, and the way they treated Canada? I think they only want CONMEBOL or the World Cup. Now, Finalissima was a different thing, but they were playing the Euros champions as the Copa América champions. Same thing they'll do next year against Spain. They're fine with that. But I think they felt like last year's Copa América was a little bit less highbrow because they called in the CONCACAF teams, or they won't do the Gold Cup because they don't think the Gold Cup is highbrow enough. I think that was sort of part of the problem with the Super Gold Cup until the Club World Cup came around. The first problem was I don't think Argentina wanted to be at the Super Gold Cup, even if it was a lot of teams invited. I don't think they wanted to be there. I think the only reason they would have been there is because of Messi's profile. But then the Club World Cup killed that for them. But then the Club World Cup getting Miami killed that hope that Argentina would say yes, just for the fact that Messi would be there and that would help them on the American side of things, which they've sort of started to accept. What I think is Argentinian football is a very puritanical society. If it ain't CONMEBOL and it ain't the World Cup, they don't want it. They don't think it's on their level. They probably don't even think the Asian Cup is on their level if they were invited. So I think it's just different mentalities, really. I think Argentina's mentality is a very puritanical mentality. I think Brazil is a showman mentality. If people want Brazil, you gonna get Brazil. They want to show off. Brazil wants to show off. Brazil wants to be the showman that people are asking for. Argentina, if it ain't on their level, they don't want to be there. I think Argentina is a very puritanical football culture. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm saying that is what it is. I feel like they're very puritanical. They have very high standards. They have very high standards. And Gold Cup never hit their standards. And the only reason they probably would have done the Super Gold Cup, if that was a thing, was because Messi would have been playing in the USA, like he already is, and they pretty much had no choice. They probably would have got a nice little payday to do it, but, Then the Club World Cup killed that hope because Messi was playing there instead. So why would Argentina without Messi say yes to playing a Super Gold Cup without Messi? Which that's the only reason they would make a lot of money in ratings from it. I think they would have said yes just because of Messi, but then the Club World Cup happened and then picked up Miami and said, which I'm sure they would have done anyway, but I'm sure they were glad Miami won the Shield so it didn't completely look like bullshit. I'm sure they would have said Miami anyway, even if they didn't win a trophy last year for the Club World Cup. I'm sure they would have, but at least they won the Shield. But either way, I just think Argentina is a very high standards culture. I think they're a very high standards football culture. I think Brazil wants to be the showman. I think there's a difference there. To the point where Brazil went down to the Gold Cup and sent their younger players, but very high potential players, when they were at the Gold Cup. But they still put on a show. They didn't win, but they put on a show. So, do that what you say. It'll be 2028. We know that. The question is, will it be back in the USA? Wait. Header. Wide. During the Olympics? You're nuts. I just realized if the Copa is held in the USA during 2028 for the second straight time, it's going to be during the Olympics. Then again, that's going to be nuts. Or right before the Olympics at the very least. Isn't the Olympics supposed to be in like July next time? Like right during the All-Star break? During the Olympics. Oh my God. They might still do it. It's possible it's the USA. Very possible. Again. Because they made a lot of money doing that. Playing forward. They made a lot of money putting it the USA, so. And they won't make as much money if it goes like back to Ecuador or something. They love shitting on, it's funny, CONMEBOL loves shitting on CONCACAF, but when they can make some money by putting the Copa the USA and putting in the CONCACAF teams, they love doing it to the point where they might do it back to back this time. They already knew they could make ass loads of money, make shitloads of money after Centenario, and then they hosted it because of the World Cup, helped us test the stadiums, and added 6 CONCACAF teams, and because it made a lot of money, they might do it again. make shitloads of money, all right? But either way, it is funny. New Zealand versus Ireland rugby, Chicago, November 3rd. If they come back to America, it'll probably be CONCACAF. If they invite teams, which is still possible, at least two, I could see a CONCACAF team getting invited in 28 if they don't. Or they could just invite CONCACAF teams again and have them play in CONMEBOL. 45th minute, 3 minutes of stoppage time. 1-1 draw so far. Very tight game. Saved by Malagon. 2 minutes to go. So, we'll see. Lol. No, it's a 4-year tournament now. It's a 4-year tournament. They only effed with the years to make sure Messi could win it. Now that Messi's won it twice in a row, they're not going to mess with the years. It's a 4-year quadrennial tournament. They're not going to mess with a year just so Messi can make it. And Neymar. Or maybe they'll make up a stupid Copa America end of an era. Maybe they'll do that and then do a 2028 Copa America in South America. Hey, that's actually a good idea. 2027 Copa America, end of an era, or whatever it is in Spanish. United States. And then they could dip their hands in twice. You know? Like, do it like Centenario, but 2015 was the regular Copa, 16 was the Centenario. The year before the actual Copa, they do one in the USA, CONMEBOL Copa America, end of an era, put their hands in that cookie jar, and then have an actual Copa in South America in 2028. Actually, I think you might have an idea. Maybe you should go tell Alejandro Dominguez about that. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea. It's actually a good idea. I think you just hit pay dirt. That's actually a good idea. '48th minute. I think you just hit pay dirt there. 2027 Copa America, end of an era. In the United States. With the CONCACAF teams. 2028 Copa America, Ecuador, whatever the shit. Whoever it's supposed to be. And normal Copa America. Whether it's 12 teams or 10, normal Copa. 48th minute. And they could have it both ways. The South Americans could have it the pure way, and they could also, CONMEBOL could get the one that makes them money. You just had an amazing idea. Like, make end of an era be like Centenario, you know? But header. Well, okay, you have a good point. It was literally every 2 years, and then they started screwing with the years later on in Messi's career to make sure he could win one. And it would have been 2021 because there was one in 2019 anyway. Messi won one. Then they waited 3 years to do 2024. Which, just like the Euros, that looked right. And they said it would be every 4 years after 24. But you know what? Copa's known for lying anyway, so you have a point. They're known for lying. But they can make a 2027 one basically like Centenario. Would be like, boom. And then have the new era start the next year in South America with a pure Copa. Goal! Goal for Toluca at the death of the half. 2-1. Goal. 1-2. Mendes. Corner, cross-in, header. 1-2. 1-2. Toluca. At the death of the half, they let him take the corner, and they scored. What a lucky break. What a lucky break. 50th minute. 1-2. Mendez with a goal. Bruno Mendez gets up there. Header from the far post. Heads it to the other side of the net. Or his near post. Heads it to the far post. Yeah, Malagon had no chance there. Malagon. I disagree. I love CONCACAF being in Copa America. Copa America. Just like I would love to see CONCACAF playing in Sudamericana and Libertadores. We should basically merge. Whether the confederations actually merge or just have an understanding, memorandum of understanding, and they play at each, they at least let CONCACAF teams play in CONMEBOL tournaments. They should be playing there. And Toluca has a 1-2 lead. 1-2. Líder. Miro tiempo. Yeah, they fell off so hard. Flick header. Far post. Bruno Mendez. They let him take that last second header, 45 plus 5. Just imagine how much the América fans are going to complain about that. Just imagine. Just imagine how much the América fans are going to complain. They're going to be like, it was only plus 3. It was plus 5 when he scored. Hey, it's called how about them apples? Turnabout's fair play. Turnabout's fair play. Turnabout's fair play. Normally that happens to the team who's playing América, not to América. If CONMEBOL did Copa America Centenario in 2016 just so Messi won it, why'd Argentina not win? They made it to the final and lost on penalties to Chile again. Just because you're supposed to win doesn't mean you will win. Argentina choked. Messi could not be the hero that he was supposed to be, with help or without help. And Chile was really damn good at the time. Chile was the better team than Argentina at the time. That's why it was funny when they won. Because at the time, Messi was they were trying to give Messi all the help he could get, not realizing that Messi wasn't the problem. The rest of the team was. Just like World Cup 2014, right? I'm not saying FIFA helped. I'm saying that Messi got to the final against Germany. Germany was the better team. They deserved to win that final. Messi did all he could, but guess what? He couldn't score. The guy who was supposed, I should say, the guy that they had right there to score didn't. Higuain could have won Messi a World Cup 8 years before he ever won one, but Higuain choked because the rest of the team was not good enough. Messi carried those guys. Point blank, period. And when it mattered, they choked. And when it mattered, they choked heavily to a team that was better than them. But because there was Messi, see, the difference is look at Argentina now. In 2022, they started to have a really good team around Messi. Yes, Messi finished the job. But look at the team around him. That was probably the best Argentina team he ever had around him, ever. Until now. Now they say they could play without him. He doesn't have to do all the work. They'll allow him to be there as long as he wants to be there, and he'll be there at the World Cup, but he won't have to do all the work. You know, I actually can believe Argentina can go back-to-back next year. It's not because of Messi. It's because of the players they have around him. That team is really good. They won 4-0 against Brazil. I know it's the worst Brazil of all time, but they stomped out Brazil without Messi months ago. They're good. They're actually building something. Perfect timing. Because after Messi retired, I'm like, you know what? They might actually be screwed. But little did I know, they've actually been building something. Argentina's still going to be very good after Messi retires because they've learned how to play without him. Just saying. I would agree with that. Colombia's still doing well as well. Colombia's still got something, though. With that being said, halftime. 1-2, medio tiempo, 1-2. Toluca leads. They've taken their opportunities and put it away. Yeah, but everybody. You know what I was saying a couple of weeks ago during the Club World Cup? Everybody has a scare. The champion always has a scare during the World Cup. Well, or at least the two finalists. They almost always have a scare. Argentina's scare in 14 was Switzerland. Germany, didn't they have a scare? I'm not so I don't clearly remember what theirs was, but I think they had one. 2018, France. They had a scare. Honestly, maybe in the final. But Belgium really had one bad moment that led to the loss. So I'd say Belgium. Croatia. 2022, Argentina. Their scare was the Netherlands. Or, well, hell, Saudi. They lost to Saudi. But that was a group stage game. You could say that was a scare as well. But the Dutch. There was their scare. Chelsea. Benfica. The bullshit that happened there. It was a manufactured scare, but it was a scare nonetheless. And honestly, the funny part is losing to Flamengo helped us actually win the tournament. So could you really call that a scare? But Benfica, that game was the scare for Chelsea. That game was their scare. Manufactured, of course, with the rain delay and the penalty, but it was a scare. But again, the champion and runner-up always have a scare. They always have a moment where they closely almost screw it up, but they get to the final anyway and possibly win. But the World Cup, the runner-up / champion always has a scare, especially in the knockout phase. But what? Damn it. They've been growing just to get punished again? Shit. Spain had a scare, yep. I say yes, they do, especially if they have it in the USA. With that being said, we'll take a short break in half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight. 1-2, 1-2, Toluca líder. Toluca leads with 45 minutes to go. Sit tight, be back. We're back for the stats at the half. Marquense and Zinabajul. Hold on. Didn't they? Call me crazy, but didn't they? Hold on. No. No, they did not. Okay, no, they didn't. Municipal, Antigua, and Xelajú. There we go. Those are the ones who made it. Which they might have to be pulled from the Central American Cup if they get punished. No. Okay. All right. Federation is also not letting star players go to Europe because of conflicts of interest. Well, what do you know? Well, I mean, if that got a Federation punished, shouldn't that also get Mexico punished? How we doing, Isaiah? Yeah, but they've also said what's the word? The infrastructure just isn't there compared to the USA, so I've heard that be rumored. Toluca's leading 2-1. That's what you missed. Stats to half. 52% possession to 48% possession. 6 shots or 5 shots to 6. 2 shots on goal to 3. We have 212 accurate passes, 85% to 191, 84%, 9 fouls to 9, 1 corner to 3. 5 shots to 6, 2 shots on goal to 3. We have 248 passes, 228 passes, 85% pass accuracy to 84% pass accuracy. We have 6 throws to 8. 0 offside to 3, 2 yellow cards, 2, 0 red cards, 0. We have 1 goal to 2, 1-2 medio tiempo. It's been a very tight first half. Second half's about to start. Game's been very tight. America got a quick goal. Toluca scored 10 minutes later and then scored right at the half with added time that maybe was a little bit too much of added time, but Toluca's taking their chances. America took their chance. But when it comes down to it, both teams have taken their chances. Just Toluca's taken more. Very, very tight match. Lots of defensive blocks. Lots of tough plays defensively to try to keep it close. Both teams put their bodies on the line to win this match. And so far, Toluca has the advantage. But overall, both teams have been playing very well. So, should be interested to see how the second half goes. Nice. Happy for you, man. Have you ever played Bully? I have not played the video game Bully. No. I have not. I know about it. I never played it. Did they own it? We might still have it, but I never played it. I never played it. I think they might have owned it and played it on PS2, but we might still have it. We still have the Sopranos game. If it is, it's down there on that little stack of PS2 games. I think we might have it. I don't think I played it personally. But I still have a PS2, and if we still have it, maybe I'll play it. Ah, that's cute. That's cute. Why are they playing in California? They always play this game at the Galaxy Stadium. One. Second of all, lots of Liga MX fans that could travel/live in California. They know it's going to be a sellout. They always play this Campeón de Campeones game at this stadium. They've always done that. As far as I can remember, they've always played it here. So, that's a crazy question. Yeah. Should be interesting. Second half about to start. Thoughts on a Waziem to Nantes? It's a good move. I'm honestly shocked that he's going to Europe. He's a talented player, but I didn't think he would go to Europe like this. To a pretty solid club as well. I think he'll do a good job. Aren't these heavily favored towards America? I mean, if they're there, I guess. But, I mean, I guess Toluca scoring at the end of the first half was sort of an America-like play. Like getting a little bit of extra minutes to score on the stoppage time. America fans are going to be so pissed about that, knowing damn well they've done that before. Man, how hypocritical are they going to be? I can't wait. So, I mean, this one I've been heavily favored towards them, yet they don't go to this game every year. I guess when they're there. This one isn't, so we have to play Toluca, the Group of Leagues Cup. We might be cooked. Yeah, but you have Wessam Abu Ali, right? Well, not exactly yet, but he might soon be. They always play this game. They always play Campeón de Campeones at the Galaxy Stadium. I've been saying this. They always play this match specifically at Supercopa MX when that was still a thing at the Galaxy Stadium. So, okay then. This is normal. Well, you're the one who watches Campeón de Campeones all the time. Because it's a big match to cover. You should remember. You got a point, but okay. Also a respectable reason, but I thought he was a good player. Like, I'm not surprised he's gone to Europe. It's the level of club. Like, he went to a solid club. He went to a solid club in France, which that's still not like solid in Italy, but you know, it's not like he went to some random ass championship club. I wish him the best. What's the group of death at the Leagues Cup? Well, technically, they're going to count the results by league. So MLS, all 18 MLS teams are going to be measured by their results against the Mexican teams and vice versa. So the Mexican teams, their results against MLS teams will rank them 1 to 18. Same thing for the MLS. The three Mexican teams they play, the results they get from those 3 games will rank them 1 to 18. The top 4 teams per league will go to the quarterfinals. It's not a group stage. There's a league phase where you're playing 3 teams of the opposite league. Top 4 per league goes to the quarterfinals, playing a opposite team from the opposite league in that quarterfinal. And the only time we can have dual league matches, as in matches between teams from the same league, would be the semifinal, third place, or final. So, what's the word? Format-wise. There's not really a group of death. It pretty much is, except very much lowered league phase-wise. Pretty much, it sounds like it. Pretty much. It sounds like that's a very good possibility. I don't mind it, though. I'd love CONCACAF to host the bulk of Copas America and have the CONCACAF teams at Copa America. Gold Cup's not good enough for me. You've never won. Well, okay, no, Canada has won one, but you were only 2 weeks old when it happened. Yeah, we've won one. And I was alive when it happened. Gold Cup's not good enough for me. I want Copa. Delusional. Maybe. Delusional. Maybe. I'll fall for it again once Canada starts winning the friendlies. Friendly FC. Delusional. That's fine. I want the Copa. Hell, actually, you probably have a better chance of winning the Copa América than the Gold Cup. We actually did better at the Copa. The higher level of a team we play, the better we do. I don't think we understand how to play, at least the Jesse Marsh system. I don't think we understand how to play the lower teams. I think we're better the higher a team we play. That's going to be a problem. We actually have to qualify for a World Cup. But I think we're actually better playing the teams that are higher than us or at our level or equal. You know, ironically enough. Ironically enough. Either way. Toluca, Pueblo, Leon are league phase opponents, all at home. Yeah, because every MLS team's playing at home. Well, most of them. But even if they're not, they're playing in the USA. So, yeah. I think Columbus should beat Leon. I think they should also beat Puebla. Toluca might be a bit tougher, but if you have a Bua Lee, we're going to see what happens there. We're going to see what happens there. Playing forward. So it's a round robin, but without groups. Just interleague games. Yes. Yes. Up until the semifinals. Possibly. Which MLS team is the most cooked this new format? Of the current teams actually in the tournament, Montreal. Montreal. They're getting killed. Let's not forget, they were a wild card team last year. They're actually in this tournament. Even Vancouver didn't make this tournament because they had to play the Champs Cup and Canadian Championship. Montreal wasn't good enough to get the Champions Cup, so they could play this tournament as a wild card team. They're much worse now. They're going to get killed. Montreal, simple. I can't wait to watch. That'll be fun. I will hate watch all of Montreal's games in this tournament and watch them get killed. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. They're cooked. They're absolutely cooked. Galaxy as well. Either Galaxy outperform, outkick their coverage, knowing their only chance of making the Champions Cup next year is winning the League's Cup, so they buckle down and do it, or they are so bad this year they're going to get bodied. It's either or. Like, the Galaxy will either outkick their coverage, whether Ricky Poos is back or not, or they're going to get absolutely bodied. Cross in. Even against a team they shouldn't. Because in theory, they should play a low-level Mexican team, a mid-level Mexican team out of the 18, and a top-level team, in theory. The Galaxy are that bad this year. Montreal will certainly be bodied. The question is will the Galaxy use this opportunity, their only opportunity left to make it back to the Champions Cup, or at least put on a good fight, or get bodied? So, the current playoff MLS teams, Miami might be, but they did well at the Club World Cup, so maybe they'll do that again. There's only 4 teams per league that advance, though. Miami might not. It's a very tight squeeze, so Miami might have a problem there. Columbus should, I'd say they do fine. San Diego, like, let's see how good they really are. Like, San Diego, I mean, they lost to freaking Toronto. I'm not saying San Diego's going to be bad, but to be top 4, like, if they're not top 10 out of MLS, they weren't as good as we thought they were. Kind of like how St. Louis really failed at the Leagues Cup their year where they finished first in the West. But they really failed at Leagues Cup. San Diego, I'm interested to see if they're actually as good as they say they are. You shouldn't have lost to Toronto. You're making me wonder. Maybe it was a bad day. I don't know. But San Diego, because Vancouver had to play the Can Champ, San Diego's in this tournament. San Diego, they're top of the West, but I have questions. You shouldn't have lost to Toronto. You shouldn't have lost to Toronto. That's why I have questions. Save. That's why I have questions. Funny, Maradona said Ronaldo can't dribble a tree. If only Maradona's still alive and watch Allende. Thank you. Gracias. Probably has to do with possession. Lol. Abu Ali's a done deal, according to Arabic sources, waiting for the Bogart bomb to confirm it. Montreal hate watch activated. Of course it was always going to be that way. Bolivia hosts the World Cup. They will win it. They're beasts at home. Is San Diego going to be another St. Louis? I mean, after losing to Toronto, at least St. Louis, before they played the Leagues Cup, they beat Toronto that year. So, in Toronto, no less, mind you. They might be. At least at Leagues Cup. I don't know about the playoffs itself, but Leagues Cup, possibly. Now, you could say, but this Leagues Cup format's harder than the Leagues Cup format 2 years ago. You would be right. But I'm saying it might not be as bad considering San Diego were playing Mexican teams. A good one, a mid one, and a low-level one. They should probably at least beat the low-level one, but in theory, right? I mean, they could be. I have my questions. I have my questions. I think Portland's going to do better than we think. I really do. Especially if DaCosta's healthy for the Leagues Cup. I think Portland's going to do very well at the Leagues Cup. Galaxy's not a playoff team right now. They're only in because they were the champions last year. LAFC, I have some questions. But, I mean, we saw them at the Club World Cup, so it's shot wide. So, I mean, I have my questions. San Diego's probably the playoff team I'm the most worried about because they should still make the playoffs even if they cool down heavily. So, right now, yeah. Vancouver should do. Vancouver's starting to. I don't know how to put it. Vancouver's starting to cool down. Like, Vancouver should still make the MLS playoffs. Vancouver, ever since the Champions Cup final, Vancouver's not been as unstoppable as they were 2 months ago. Like, Vancouver is starting to falter a little bit. Is that all the games they've played? Is that because they had the shits? Is that because they're absolutely sad they didn't win the Champions Cup? Is it a combination of the three? They went that balls to the wall at the Champions Cup just to lose it. Vancouver might have some. Oh, wait, they're not in the Leagues Cup. Well, I still have questions, though. Oh, yeah, Vancouver's not at the Leagues Cup because of Can Champ. My bad. Either way, I still have questions. San Diego basically replaced them, so either way. Playoff teams, I still have questions about Vancouver right now, though. I still have a couple of questions. Not bad enough to lose to Forge, though. I'll still cover both legs of that tie, but they're not losing to Forge. I wish they would. And that means Forge would host the Can Champ final if they somehow pulled it off, but they're not going to. I'm sorry, they're not pulling it off. Vancouver's not that bad to lose to Forge. Forge may keep it close, but it's going to seem like a Champions Cup tie, like Forge has had. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. I'll tell you that much right now. Forge got the hard tie. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. There will be a CPL team at the Can Champ final this year. It will probably not be Forge. If Forge is there, that means there is a CPL versus CPL Can Champ final. That is not happening. Forge, hell, they might even win at home. They still have to play the second leg at BC Place. I hope Forge wins. I'll be rooting for them. They're not going to win. Now, if they do beat Vancouver, they're probably going to win the Can Champ because, one, they'll host the final. Second of all, they beat the Whitecaps. They're already undefeated all year during the CPL season or any Canadian competition against a Canadian team. They've been undefeated all year up to this point. Of course, that'll change when they play Vancouver, but, you know. I don't think they have the, what's the word? The infrastructure to host the tournament itself, so. Do you watch the Olympic football tournaments? Yes. I did last year. I did in 2020. I did watch the tournament, a couple of games on this channel. Not as much as I could have, but that Morocco video did really well. That USA Morocco review did really well. That one went off the frickin'. That one was amazing. That one did amazing. Cross in USA Morocco, that did amazing. With that being said, they also lost to Vancouver. Got a bunch of free drinks today at work. One lady thought she'd be able to come when she was on a time crunch on the way to the airport. She joined a long-ass line, too. Well, that's her problem, not mine. 2-1 Toluca. 1-2 Toluca. Drive through. Well, that's worse. Said give her whatever was ready, keep the other one that she'd have to go. I got to take a Sunrise Fizz with cream, and it wasn't bad. Sunrise Fizz sounds pretty good. Sort of creamsicle. That sort of sounds like creamsicle to a certain extent. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but that kind of sounds like creamsicle. Orange, cream. That sounds pretty good. Maybe I'm wrong. They are. It's cool, though. It's cool, though. It would not happen. Would not happen. Peach raspberry. Well, that makes sense because it looks like a dawn. Like peach and raspberry looks kind of like the dawn. That makes sense. Orange and red. Yeah, that makes sense. But that still does sound pretty good. So many secret menu flavors, it's not even funny. Yeah, I agree with that, especially 2008. Especially the 2008 Olympics team. That was a really good team. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you for trying a new one every day. Like, you might as well. It's called a perk. It's called a perk of the job. Of course, 5 Tito's? Like, are you talking about like 5 shots of Tito's? Or like 5 handles of it? Please tell me it was 5 shots. Still not smart, but... It's still not smart, but 5 handles? You're out of your mind. 5 shots, well, okay, that's 5 shots. It's still not smart, but do you. It's 5 shots, but, well, do you. Do you. Hmm. 2-1 Toluca. Good to hear. You know what? Like, I saw a video of Steven Lawrence driving an Indy car, like, at the Toronto Grand Prix during the weekend. I'm jealous. Like, they let Steven Lawrence drive the Indy car. Dude, dude, that jealous. Jealous. Driving a lap in an Indy car or F1 car. Preferably a F1 car, but I'll take what I can get. Actually driving a lap or two, like testing an F1 car or Indy car, that would be cool. Preferably an F1 car, but you know, that's yeah, I know. Playing forward, 66 minute. Like that baby blue and papaya McLaren that they had at the Toronto Grand Prix. That would be cool. I mean, I also want to see Lando Norris drive a car that looks like that, but you know, Lando. Like, I need to see, like, in Miami next year, F1 Miami next year, they got to rip off that baby blue orange McLaren livery for the Miami Grand Prix. They have to. They have to. Baby blue and papaya, McLaren's got to rip off that livery for Miami next year. It's freaking Miami! Orange and baby blue with a little bit of black and chrome. Dude, you got to rip that off. I mean, you got to rip that off. For Miami, I think Miami has better vibes. The track, I think Vegas's track is better, personally. Miami's track, it's not Monaco, but it pretty much is one where if you qualify where you qualify, that's probably how the race is going to finish. I'm not saying it's as bad as Monaco. Monaco's the worst. But on a scale of like Monaco to Silverstone, Miami's closer to Monaco. Vegas is probably more a entertaining track. The vibes itself, Miami has better vibes. As a entertainment, as a spectacle, Miami's probably a better spectacle than Vegas, even though Vegas is Vegas. But the actual racing, honestly, on track, Vegas is better. Spectacle-wise, Miami, Miami's not as bad as Monaco. Monaco's the worst. It's a waste of time. Qualifying's the actual race. Like, if you're watching on Sunday, you're watching because it's Monaco. Unless it's raining. Unless it's raining. Silverstone is still crazy even if it's clear. If it's raining, it's even more crazy. Silverstone, no matter what, though, England, entertaining. Whether it's raining, clear, no matter what's going on, that's entertaining. Montreal is another one of them. Montreal, that circuit, entertaining. Anything can happen. Depending on where you qualify, Monaco is going to be what it is. Qualifying's the real. They really should just give points for that. But, you know, I'd say Miami is the better spectacle. The better racing is Vegas. The better circuit is Vegas. Spectacle, Miami. I'll agree. It did. Like, Vegas was cool the first time, the whole way. Like, if you go there once, offside goal for Toluca. When it comes to F1 in Vegas, you go there once, you've seen it all. Miami, they always find something new. Header, Yep, offside. Paulinho offside. Yep. Like, Vegas, it is what it is. Like, Miami, there's something new every time. Like, there's always something new about Miami when it comes to F1 in Miami, at least of the experience. Vegas is Vegas. There's only so much you could do. Like, Miami, the fact they build the track around Hard Rock Stadium, and it's a little bit more, like, changeable, as in around the pit wall and the paddock and around that. It's a little bit more changeable. Vegas is Vegas. They build it on the streets of Vegas, and it's already all filled. Like, you go to F1 in Vegas once, you've seen it all. You won't go back another time because you really can't change anything. Like, unless you just love Vegas. But again, the racing in Vegas is better than the racing in Miami. More entertaining wise. Like, that's the thing. There's more of a spectacle with Miami that could be different, multiple different. And they always try to do more with Miami as well, weirdly enough. Like the liveries, the events, they always try to do more with Miami. Vegas, again, because Vegas is already set up, they're checking it. It looks like it'll be a goal. It looks like it's going to be a goal. Allowed a goal. (3-1) Toluca. It's a goal! It's a goal! It's a goal for Toluca. 3-1. 1-3 Toluca. That was Paulinho. Yep, Paulinho put it in there. Toluca isn't even trying. Paulinho scores the goal. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it is. Saudi Arabia, I hate to admit it, but they have an amazing circuit. Like, Saudi Arabia, the circuit in Saudi Arabia is amazing. I hate to admit it, but it's true. I don't care how you feel about it. The F1 circuit in Jeddah, amazing. Amazing. Like, the Middle East circuits, the circuits in the Arabic world are second to none. I'm sorry. If there's one thing they could do right, I don't care if it's sports washing or not. Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Azerbaijan, even though they're Europe, they're closer. Amazing. Amazing. UAE, those circuits, oh my God, amazing. Amazing. I don't care how you feel about it, it's true. Paulinho, 70th minute. 1-3, Toluca leads. Toluca lead ad. Paulinho, ball played over the top. Center of the box. Castro played it over the top. Castro played it over the top. Paulinho brought it down and slotted it home. Castro headed it on. Paulinho brought it down and slotted it home. Yes, and they called it onside. Those Middle East circuits are crazy. Qatar isn't too far. Yeah. Qatar, they have Grand Prix as well. No, I'm just saying. They didn't pay me for shit. Dude, they didn't pay me for shit. Besides, I also said all the Middle Eastern circuits are amazing. Like, the Grand Prix there are entertaining as all. Are so entertaining. Like, anything can happen is my point. They didn't pay me for shit. See, if they paid me, I'd only be saying good things about Saudi Arabia. One. Second of all, you can complain all you want. See, if they were paying me, I'd also be doing a lot more Saudi League as well. So, no, they're not paying me. I just hate Monaco. And also, I hate the boring circuits. Brazil. See? Brazil. The Brazilian Grand Prix, nuts. And the way they schedule it is normally during the rainy season in Brazil, which, that helps. But the Brazilian Grand Prix, always a treat. Always a fun one. Suzuka, Japan, amazing. Monaco's a joke. Honestly, Barcelona, not really. Silverstone is amazing. Spa, the Belgian Grand Prix, next weekend. Maybe I'll be live for it. Spa's a pretty good track. Hungary, no, not really. Not really. Not as bad as Monaco. Nothing is as bad as Monaco. Montreal's got a good track. Silverstone is always entertaining no matter what the weather is, as I said. Vegas, their track is better than Miami's. Miami's track it's kind of like Monaco, not as completely bad, but it's quali's, unless there's a big crash, quali pretty much decides Miami. Coda's okay, but Coda's just, it's not as hyped up as Miami or Vegas, which I get it. It's been there longer, but I wish they'd go back to Watkins Glen, but that'll never happen. So, no, they didn't pay me for shit. Vamos Toluca. I say either the Chicago street course, the Chicago streets, like the NASCAR street course in Chicago. They should go to Chicago, go back to Watkins Glen. That'll never happen. I'm just hoping. Nashville street course, maybe. I think Nashville has a street course that NASCAR raced as well for a while. Nashville would be nice. I'd love to see Toronto actually have an F1 Grand Prix. They had an IndyCar one. They just did today. They've had that for a while, but I would love to see Toronto maybe every so often. It'd be like Montreal, then Toronto, Montreal, then Toronto when it comes to the Canadian Grand Prix. But that's just me being biased. Nashville street circuit, Chicago street circuit. I would love to see what F1 would do with that street circuit in Chicago. I would love to see what they would do with that. It could be horrible. It could be horrible, but it could be good. It could be good. Nashville, I think that would be nice. Road America, they wouldn't do that. Indy, no. Look up 2005 USA Grand Prix Indy 500. You'll know why they'll never go back to the Indy 500 ever again. Just look that up. Goal for America. 2-3. 2-3. Goal. Offside. Offside, actually. Offside. I'd love to see F1 go back to Watkins Glen, but they'll never do that. Daytona. Maybe a Daytona Grand Prix with like the 24 hours of Daytona track. That'd be cool, but you have Miami, so yeah, Nashville or Chicago is probably the most likely. Yeah, they are. F1 Boston be good too. They already have F1 arcade and bar there that's successful. Yeah, Boston might be a bit tough though. I think it'd be cool, but that might be a little bit tough. It is a goal kick. No goal for America. No goal. Oh, that should count. No goal. So they messed it up. I like to throw in Baltimore too. That might be interesting. 79th minute. Set up a street track in Columbus. Yeah. Los Angeles. I mean, there is Laguna Seca in California that IndyCar runs. That I think is a circuit. I think it is a circuit, isn't it? But I think actually F1 was there back in the 70s as well. They probably won't go back to that. But I'll say this. If I'm rich, you will never see me at a F1 Grand Prix in Monaco. I'm not that highfalutin, even if I was rich. Now, Montreal, depending on the timing and depending on how I'm rich, yeah, you might see me there for that Grand Prix. Because that's pretty much the only place they'll have the Canadian Grand Prix. But, you know, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Vegas, again, depends on timing. I would go to Vegas at least once. Miami, that's normally in May, so depends how close I am. You know, if I could get to Abu Dhabi for the final race of the year, yeah, yeah, I would do that. Singapore, probably not. Probably not. I don't want to get swamp ass. I'm fine watching that one on TV and watching them get swamp ass. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. You'll never see me in Monaco. It will never happen. When I say I hate Monaco, I hate the Monaco Grand Prix. It's a waste of time. Over the bar. I mean, it's about taste, but watch the movie. Watch the F1 movie. If you don't get into it that way, well, it just ain't for you. Watch the movie. Well, I mean, hey, look at Singapore. Hey, put it at night. They already got swamp ass racing in Singapore. Look at how bad that is for them. George Russell was freaking... Dude turned into a waterfall last year. Look up George Russell Drive to Survive Singapore. A Singapore GP. Dude turned into a waterfall. I don't think Phoenix would be as bad. At least it's a dry heat. Besides, isn't Singapore like in October anyway? It's the same thing. It's a dry heat at least. There's a difference. Phoenix is at least a dry heat. So, there's your difference. They already got swamp ass going to Singapore, so, you know. I mean, amazing track, don't get me wrong. But, like, they say the cockpit, like where they're driving, gets to 60 degrees Fahrenheit while they're driving over there. Or 60 degrees Celsius, my bad. Fahrenheit, no, you wouldn't be, no. Even if you are from England like George Russell, savior of the merciless. Blimey, no. He might be a punk, but no. I don't like him, but he might be a whiny punk, but, you know, whatever. George Russell might be a whiny punk, but, you know, whatever. No, he was legit overheating last year. Like 110, 20, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It can't be that much worse in Phoenix, besides dry heat. So, could be worse. Atlanta, like, I could see Atlanta happening easily, though. Pittsburgh F1? Oh, I will find a way to do that. Oh, F1 Pittsburgh? You will see me there. You will see me there. Bruno Mendes goal of the match. Rory knows exactly. You go and see Steelers fan and me at F1 Pittsburgh if that happens. Oh, trust me. Trust me. Rory and Blitzo no. Rory and Blitzo no. Also, F1 Atlanta, that seems very likely to me, because guess who owns F1? Liberty Media. Guess what they also own? The Atlanta Braves. F1 Atlanta is like one of the most obvious things that's ever going to happen. Like, I'm surprised it hadn't happened yet. Liberty Media owns the Braves. You're telling me they wouldn't do an F1 race around the Battery? Around the Braves Stadium? Come on now. Come on now. It makes them money. A lot of money. It makes the Braves money because it's going to be around the Braves Stadium. That's probably what they would do. Also, they own F1. The Braves, Liberty Media owns the Braves, owns F1. Why haven't they done Atlanta yet? Why haven't they done Atlanta yet? Why haven't they done Atlanta yet? Owns the stadium, by the way. Owns Truist Park, by the way. So, they could even do F1 Tampa. Yeah, no. I don't think that's possible. F1 Orlando? Maybe. Tampa? No. Hey, who knows? Maybe this Disney thing. Maybe F1 Disney. You might see me there too. If they did F1, I might actually go to Disney World. If they do F1 Disney, because of the Mickey thing, Mickey Mouse thing, I'll go there. Sounds pretty smart to me. That's actually... Definitely something I would do. I don't want to go to Disney World, but if they did an F1 Grand Prix there, I'll go. Oh, Hector Herrera's coming on. The F1 and Disney have some sort of collab coming out next year. So, wouldn't shock me at some point if they did a Disney Grand Prix. Orlando. Lichnowsky injured Helino, 88th minute. They're checking it on VAR. I do not. Now, I will admit, if there was a Disney F1 Grand Prix, I do not want Charles Leclerc to win that Grand Prix. I also do not want that to be Lewis Hamilton's first Ferrari win, because if it is, Lichnowsky might get a red card. If it is, they're going to call it a Mickey Mouse Grand Prix win. I don't want to hear it. I'll scream. Whether it's Charles or Lewis. Especially if it's a Lewis's first Grand Prix win with Ferrari. No yellow card. It's a red card. Lichnowsky is off. Even though this game's almost over anyway, but he deserved to go off. like a Disney Grand Prix. If Ferrari won that, especially if it was their first win of the year, or Lewis's first Ferrari Grand Prix win, or Charles just wins it, especially in a crazy way. Oh my God, the Mickey Mouse Grand Prix win would be so, jokes would be so annoying. I just want Lando to win that one. They might joke about him too, but it won't be as bad as Ferrari. Ferrari will get a lot of shit. If Ferrari won a Disney Grand Prix, they would get a lot of shit. Especially if it wasn't, how do I put this? Especially if it wasn't totally, what's the word? Above board. Like if Verstappen crashed out, the McLarens crashed out, Mercedes with a new power unit. Well, Verstappen will probably get Mercedes by that time. And George Russell crashed out, and then that's how Ferrari won. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle it. I'd be happy Ferrari actually won the Grand Prix, and then first thing I see, Mickey Mouse Grand Prix. Mickey Mouse win. Ferrari is Mickey Mouse. I would no. No. Rooting for Ferrari is like rooting for the Toronto Maple Leafs, just so you know. It's not weird that I do. Like, Ferrari's on brand for me. Being a Ferrari fan is on brand for me. It very much is. It very much is. It's like, it's very much on brand. 6 more minutes, 7 minutes of stoppage time. It's very on brand. It's very on brand. I love the pain. I love the pain. Basically, being a Leafs fan is like being a Ferrari fan. If you want any comparison. I'm very much used to what Ferrari puts me through, just like I'm used to what the Leafs put me through. That's why I have to have McLaren as the second favorite team. Because I hate Max Verstappen. Whether he is for Red Bull or Mercedes, I don't like him. McLaren's the one that's winning, and I like Lando Norris. So, Toluca plays Montreal. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Huh, interesting. Cross in. Yeah, Montreal's cooked. Either way. So yeah, pretty much at this point, I'm a McLaren. I'm a Ferrari McLaren fan at this point. Pretty much. Because Ferrari will never win. I miss the good days. I miss the good days. They'll never win again. They'll never build a stable car ever again. The only reason they won with Schumacher is Schumacher brought his guys instead of listening to the Italians. It's a boys' club. They don't know how to actually build a good car. Lewis Hamilton screwed up. He thought he'd be Schumacher. He couldn't bring his guys. He has to listen to the Ferrari people. There's the problem right there. Also, Lewis Hamilton's getting old. But either way, there's your problem right there. With that being said, 94th minute. We got 94th minute. One to 3, 1-3. Okay, we're good. I was like, Toluca's going to win this match. This game is over already. Well, no, I mean, there's still 2 minutes of stoppage time. But yeah, I mean, they're not scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. Yeah, you're right. '97th minute. This should be it. Full time. There you go. Full time. 1-3. Toluca, campeón de campeones de la Liga MX. 1-3. Toluca have won the Campeón de Campeones. 1-3. They have beaten América once again for the second time in 2 months, give or take. 2 months to beat them, and they will go and play the LA Galaxy. They will play the LA Galaxy at Campeones Cup. Toluca avanza de la Campeones Cup contra LA Galaxy in September or early October. They will play LA Galaxy. They were the better team. Well, Toluca wanted it more. They took their chances and got the win. They took their chances and got the win. '90. Minutes down, and Toluca's won the Campeón de Campeones. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send chats on live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. Congratulations, Toluca. Felicidades, Toluca. Commiserations, América. we have a Campeón de Campeones, and it's Toluca. We'll see how the rest goes. With that being said, I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you.